Hey guys, it's Athena, and today I want to talk to you about how to get unrestricted from distractions. We live in a modern world where we're constantly getting bombarded with new messages, people talking to us, notifications on our phone, and it can be very hard to stay focused. And the thing is that every distraction, on average, takes about 23 minutes for us to get our head back into whatever it was we were doing before. Now, if you multiply that by the amount of times that you are getting distractions, well, you're just never really focused. You're never really in it. So eliminating as many distractions as you can when you have something that you need to focus on will mean that you do better work, you will keep your head in it, and you'll get it done a lot quicker. So these are my top tips on how to eliminate distractions from your environment so you can get more done in less time. First of all, your brain can get distracted if it's not sure what it's meant to be doing or what the plan is. Try to be really specific with exactly what it is that you want to do, and you will be more focused and less likely to be distracted by other things when you know what you want to accomplish in that time. The best way to actually sit down and do something is to put it in your calendar. That physical action of planning a time will help your brain get focused and less likely to be distracted when it knows what it's meant to be doing when and for how long. Other people can be a huge distraction, particularly when we're locked down with people in the same house. So if you need time to focus and there are other people around you that might distract you, tell them in advance that you need some focus time. Hey, I'm gonna focus for 45 minutes. Please, unless it's an emergency, don't talk to me, don't distract me. And I know it sounds pedantic, but just think of that 23 minutes it takes to get back into something. Every time someone interrupts you, they are taking your focus out of whatever it is that you're doing. You can do this with people in your immediate vicinity, and you can also let people know that you work with, even if remotely, that you're gonna be getting your head down and focused. Your phone can be one of your biggest distractors. When you want to focus on something, putting your phone in airplane mode or focus mode or do not disturb mode, there's tons of different options on phones these days to turn it off. So put it in silent, put it in airplane mode, or just turn it off while you're trying to get something done, because every time you pick up your phone, you're taking yourself out of whatever you were doing. You wanna really try to eliminate that distraction as much as possible. You may have turned off your phone, but also you need to think about your laptop. You wanna make sure to reduce all distractions there as well. You want to close down all the tabs, and if you feel like you're not strong enough to avoid looking at those, you can download an extension and use blocking apps on your laptop to be able to block those out for a certain period of time. If you're working on something that requires some emails, I recommend screenshotting those emails and closing down your email program as well. You really want to just try to avoid all digital notifications and distractions while you're trying to get something done, because you will get it done quicker without distracting yourself. Music can be one of the best motivating tools that you can find, and also really great for helping you avoid distractions. So if we don't have any music and there's things in our environment that we listen to or conversations that start happening, you might get distracted by that. Also, you can train your brain that it's work time. I love listening to music that is high energy, usually electronic type music without a bunch of lyrics, because I get distracted by the lyrics. My favorite playlist on Spotify is Techno Bunker. I've been using it for years. So now when I hear it, I know it's time to start working the second that I hear it. If I need a little extra boost, then I will put on something like The Prodigy. You just need to start experimenting with music and seeing how it motivates you, whether it distracts you, if it helps you get in the zone. But I love it because it not only helps you get focused, but you avoid getting distracted by the things around you. Now, when I'm listening to music and there are other people around me, I have a specific set of headphones that are big over the head, over the ear headphones. So it's a visual deterrent for people around me. And I tell them when the headphones are on, I'm in focus mode, I need you not to interrupt me. So that can be a great way to try and help people around you to know this is not a good time. So telling them, hey, when I've got my headphones on, I need to focus. Typically when people just see headphones, they're like, oh, they're in the middle of something, rather than if you don't have anything on, or if you have those little ear pods where they can't see you. So it might be worth getting a cheap pair of over-the-head headphones so it's a visual deterrent if you have other people around you. We can be one of the biggest distractions to ourselves, and our brain can remind us of things or try to get us to work on other things at times that we don't want to do it. Well, how many of us have been in the middle of something and then we think of something else, and we start doing that, and then we forget what we were doing in the first place, and then we're not focused on anything. So it's taking us so much longer. Multitasking is not an actual skill. There's a lot of science that shows that it is not a good way to try to get things done. So when something comes up in your brain, if you have a notebook nearby, you just write it down and you tell your brain like, hey, I got you. We're going to do this later, and you can deal with it later, and it will stop you from going off and doing that thing or sitting there and being like, remember to do that, remember to do that, remember to do that. Keep a notebook nearby to stop yourself from distracting yourself. So the next tip is to manage that petulant 6-year-old that is your brain. It does not like to sit down and work on something without knowing when it might end. So one of the great tools you can utilize is a timer. And there's lots of research that shows that our brains can only focus on something that requires deep thought for a maximum of 45 minutes. When you have something that requires a lot of thinking time, setting a timer for 45 minutes will signal to your brain that there's an end, and also you'll be using your brain to its best capacity. After 45 minutes, take a break, switch to a different task, do something else. It gives you an awesome refresh, and then you can go back to whatever you were doing and set a timer for another 45 minutes. By setting a timer, it means that you're more likely to stay focused and less likely to distract yourself or get distracted by other things, because you know that there is an end in place for how long you're going to do what you're doing. It's really important to give ourselves positive affirmation when we are doing good things for ourselves. We can often forget to take time to celebrate and give ourselves a pat on the back. When you sit down and do something and you concentrate and you don't get distracted, or you closed out all the distractions and you've done a good job, you need to celebrate in some way, because that will continue to tell your brain that you are doing a good thing, and it will be easier to get in the habit of eliminating distractions when your brain knows it gets a little reward. You can do something as simple as doing a little dance, or putting on a motivational song, or making yourself a coffee. Whatever your thing is, just find a simple way to celebrate good behavior, because the more you celebrate good behavior, the more that good behavior will be easier to come by. And finally, it's really important to go easy on yourself. When you're learning a new skill, it can take time, it can be frustrating, and life happens. We're living in a crazy time right now. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get sucked into things and feel a lack of motivation. So just going easy on yourself and feeling good that you are giving it a shot and you are trying it will take some time to get it into a practice. Those are my top tips on how to eliminate distractions. And if you liked this, you can sign up on the mailing list, where you will be sent a PDF guide with all of these tips in a little bit more detail. And you'll also get news and updates on upcoming events and classes and the Unrestricted podcast. Go ahead, comment below, let us know what you think, or if you have any tips of your own for how to eliminate distractions. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you get more hacks like this on how to live unrestricted.